Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off by the Game Day.
Yes,
by the
sir.
game day.
And
By the
welcome-
game. Sorry, you got to fill in for Adam.
And welcome
He's
back.
not.
Adam, you look great over here, bro. Look at you.
my
Yeah,
God.
you
Look
was
at how
cute.
beautiful. Does he speak? Let's see if he speaks.
Hello.
Hey, Adam. How's it
Oh,
going? How's your
Felipe, bro. You
Thanksgiving?
cold?
Yeah, man. You know I stay cold, but
Bro,
today
it's actually mad brick in here.
it's super brick. Actually, you can't even see the brick wall, but it's like double brick.
Of
I'm
course.
bricks. Brick. Lots of bricks.
It's brick. It's brick.
Easy.
Adam, how was your Thanksgiving, my friend?
It was good, man. Food was actually wasn't a great food outing on the Thanksgiving
I
front.
have
No?
a feeling Miami Thanksgiving, it just
It don't really
doesn't-
make sense.
I feel like it's got to be below 60 degrees.
I did.
Anywhere you do Thanksgiving. For the
That's
food
fair.
to be good, it's got to be below 60 degrees where
Actually,
you
a
are.
valid point. It's too hot. You can't cook properly.
Yeah, like how hot is it there right now?
It's in the
Yeah.
70s. Very
That's
nice.
fucking
Dude,
nice, though.
that's
Very
It's
nice.
nice
God
outside
damn.
of like those holidays. Like Christmas, you want it to be cold.
Yeah.
But like every
yeah.
other day, you're fine with it being 75, 80 degrees, bro. It's like,
Even
They'll take
Christmas,
that
and
every
they
year,
probably just
every
go
day.
on the fucking boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yep, nailed that one.
is that what you do on Christmas? Just go on the boat, drink?
Yeah, well, I'm Jewish, so don't celebrate that one. But
Well, what do you do? All 8 days. So,
all 8 days we actually hibernate on the boat. We
Yep.
sleep
Yep.
on the boat.
hibernate.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good point. You only
Yep.
live
8
off
day- 8 day
matzo ball
fast.
soup,
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andrew Peterman.
what
Yep.
have you. That's what it is,
matzo
right?
ball soup.
That's
on a
incredible,
boat.
dude.
Yeah,
but I
man.
know you
That's it.
really enjoyed that
Oh, just ripping
Dolphins.
dreidels left and
Jets
right.
game.
Oh yeah, the Dolphins Jets game. It was fantastic. It was one
Dude, it
of the
was
best
so
games.
incredible, man.
Yeah, no,
So
we're-
fucking awesome. One of the best games of the year.
absolutely.
Dude,
Super
it
happy.
was so good that I like forgot to watch.
Yeah. Dude, the amount of times that I got reminded when I was watching Thursday, the Thanksgiving Day football, like whichever
By the
game
way,
it was.
tomorrow.
By the way, the first time ever, prime football. I'm like, dude, it's Dolphins Jets. Stop
They
telling me
should have
about
also.
this.
They should have put that in prime time on Prime. They should have put that
Well,
at
you
night.
can't because if you have any
Friday
game on
night?
Friday that's college or NFL, you can't have it during night because the nighttime is saved for football for high schoolers.
Oh,
Friday
of
Night
course,
Lights.
of course.
Yep.
I found that out this week. I was like, well, it's kind of weird as shit.
Why are we prioritizing high school football that much?
But, all right, Texas, why?
Dude,
Yeah,
first of all,
Jen-
that's a disrespectful question.
To the state of Texas.
Go to a big part of this country, in the southern region in particular, and you'll get that answer, man.
All right.
You know what I'm
Haven't been.
saying? High school football is big. It's big in the South.
I'm not saying it's not big. I'm just
Hey,
saying
Mizzou won
NFL football is pretty
48-14
big
the
too.
Battle Line
Nah, nah,
rivalry
nah, nah,
that
nah.
day, by the way.
I would agree with you if it was like a great matchup. Like if you're getting like, if it was Bills and Eagles, if that was on Friday night, and it's like, maybe that could replace a high school football game. But like nobody south of, I don't even know what the fucking line is.
Mason-Dixon line?
Mason-Dixon line. Yeah, that's good. Is choosing to watch the Jets Dolphins over any type of high school football game.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. But everyone chose to watch the Battle Line rivalry, Mizzou 48, Arkansas 14. Hell of a game. Hell of a game.
Hell of a
Cody
game.
Schrader, 217 yards, put him in the Heisman conversation. That was the
I
best
actually
Black
had him in
Friday
my
game.
Heisman conversation all year.
I know you were saying that you got
Congrats, Jack.
the walk on from Truman State. Watch out for him, bro.
Dude,
Congratulations, Jack.
Thanks,
I'm happy
guys.
for you.
10-2.
Your
10-2.
your Thanksgiving was nice though.
It was good. Yeah, it was solid. Golfed a lot, which was like
Sweet.
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I
Like,
saw
I
some
played
nice
like
shots
shit,
of
though.
you golf, and it looked beautiful out there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
a great
looked so
course.
nice.
Yeah, God, I played like shit though, man. I gotta get better. Just gotta be
I'm
better.
telling you, man, I don't think there's a scenery like Cali. Like when we were out there, that's what really blew me away. It's just like it's fucking beautiful out there, man.
Dude, yeah, like when you just like you're driving into San Francisco and everything like that.
Gorgeous.
It's
All
Mountains
right.
and
Well,
shit.
this is our recap episode. A little overreaction Monday.
Hmm.
So let's go through some of the games from Week 12, and I want to hear what you think. We're gonna start with the Packers and the Lions.
I've been told y'all about them Lions.
Are the Lions still? Are the Lions still just the Lions? Is that all they are?
No, they're better than that.
But
But again, like
they got a little more to them than
No,
usual.
they do, but they're not this like super team in the NFC that a lot of people, Jack, made them out to be. Like they're good, and I think they're still
They're a very good team.
They're still the fourth best team in the NFC. But what I was saying last week, as far as like, I don't think they're close to Dallas, even though you could have that conversation. Now I don't even think you could really have that conversation because they were similar to Dallas in the sense that like they had both been clapped by really good teams.
and they had a better record. That's why you could say like, all right, they're better than Dallas.
Are they 8-3 now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Now
they
have
had
the
a
same
better
record.
Now
right?
they have the same record, and Dallas has just been way more
Y'all
dominant.
been clapping
And-
everyone you play.
Yeah, it's been insane. So now I think naturally they have to be fourth in the NFC, but they're still one of the best teams in the league. They're still one of the best teams in the NFC, and they're gonna make the playoffs. So I think the Lions are just the Lions. They're just not that top tier team that people were making them out to be.
Like, look, let's be honest too. Like, the Lions are a little bit ahead of schedule right now. Like, I feel like last year at the end of the season,
what's the
when the schedule, like,
in terms of wins and shit.
of like what if you ask a Lions fan, what do you want from this year? They say just make the playoffs. I want to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Now we're talking about them like, last week I was talking about them being legit Super Bowl contenders. They still might be, but if you ask any Lions fan, like in retrospect, like just the fact that they are 8-3 right now and the playoff lock is fucking insane. So I feel like people are just kind of getting too caught up in like the Lions hype. I for sure was, just because it's the Lions. We don't seem like this is so fun. And now it's like, all right, let's just be real. Like, this is an insane season regardless for the Lions if they just make the playoffs. They could win a playoff game. That'd be a huge year for them. First playoff win, and I don't even know how long. Like,
in a long time.
And also, like, they were going in playing the Packers, who is a team we think low on. Like, and we thought they would just go in and dominate the Packers.
But now they're getting hot, so it might not actually be that
Packers
bad.
Look good, man. Packers look good.
Not that bad of a loss, honestly.
I mean, it's a bad loss. I mean, it's a bad loss because we've been saying that the Lions are fucking amazing, all this shit. Fuck all you Lions fans coming after me saying I'm a hater.
Wait, but let's keep the same energy though, because all of our teams, except for Matan's, like we've all had bad losses, right? Like I've shit on the Lions, and last week I said I believe that they're contenders.
I would say I lead in bad losses.
Yeah, Matan.
Yeah, but he's talking about contenders though. I get you. I
understand.
I believe with the Lions, they've lost 6 straight games on Thanksgiving, and coming into it, we had never believed, or they had come into it, they had lost 5 straight, and this was their 6th straight. So coming into it, we were like, this is the one. The Lions, of course, they should beat the Packers. Naturally, they don't win on Thanksgiving for whatever reason. It just doesn't happen. Every team have bad losses.
You did see there's way bigger circumstances, and the reason the Lions lost is because going into that game they're 0-12 with a waxing gibbous on Thanksgiving. So there was a waxing gibbous as well this Thanksgiving. Of course, they lost 0-13. It makes sense.
Advanced analytics.
Yeah, astrology for you. How about that?
Advanced astrology.
Shout out Jay Kuda for that.
I think, yes, the Lions are still probably the 4th best team in the NFC, but I also still think they're a contender. I think like the way they've played, the way they've been able to beat teams, like the Packers are a team that's coming up and has been better over the last couple of weeks. So I don't think it's like fair to, wait on that loss and then kind of point out that like, see, this is who we thought they were, because for the first like 6 weeks or 7 weeks of the season, we weren't ever saying like, all right, they're better than we thought they were outside of Jack. I think the Lions are still contenders. I think they're going to be fine. I think the Packers are a team that we should give some love to, give some flowers to. Jordan Love deserves love. Love, mayhaps, should get love. Yep, perhaps.
Bro. We've been saying the Lions are good all year. Yeah. We've been saying that all year. We've been having
contenders though.
Ever since they beat the Chiefs week 1, we said they're a good team and they're well coached. We just were hesitant. I was hesitant, and you were hesitant, and Jack wasn't hesitant on crowning them as a true contender. I still don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. I said that they weren't last week. Now they're definitely not, right? But they haven't gone down to me. They just are who I thought they were.
I'm saying Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders.
I still think they're contenders for me.
Okay, so you think they are,
right? Like I think the Packers are a better team than what people are giving credit for. I think just because they lose to the Packers on a game where obviously there's a wax and gibbous, discredited a little bit.
I'd say like people are really overreacting to this loss because the wax and gibbous is such a big factor.
Exactly.
Like you don't think about how much that plays into it.
I just think a lot of people probably were waiting for
the moon phase.
Oh.
Yeah. Look up waxing gibbous.
I don't know. I don't know that which one is waning and which one's waxing, but I know that they're similar.
Well, yeah, waxing is when it's coming back on to full.
Got you.
Because we had a full moon last night, by the way, my Uber back from the airport. Made sure he told me that 55 times.
Really?
Yeah. And then the waning is when it's waning down.
Got you.
Of course.
But going back, I think the Lions will be fine. I think they're still a contender.
They'll be fine. They're a playoff team.
They can't have Jared Goff. Like my thing is, I feel like the Lions depend on Jared. Like how far the Lions will go in the playoffs depends on how well Jared Goff plays. And I know that's not a crazy thing to say based off of like quarterback play,
right?
But when he's on, they can beat anyone in the NFL. But like, god damn, the turnovers and like near turnovers that he had all game against the Packers, it was like brutal to watch. And I feel like that was the Jared Goff that we saw a few years ago. We're like, all right, this guy fucking stinks.
Well, it's the reason the Rams were like, we're not going to win with this guy. We need to go make a big trade for Matthew Stafford.
Literally a year after.
Yeah. But on the other side, someone mentioned Jordan Love. Give him some love.
Yeah,
please. He's been playing well. Adam,
you got that stat?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it. so many people, I feel like for the first part of this year, were saying Jordan Love was not the guy and is not the guy. But Jordan Love is very much Aaron Rodgers. They are one in the same.
All right, relax with that.
Because of their first 11 games as a starter for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
And what are the stats, Adam?
Those stats are as follows, because I had to write it down, because I can't memorize it. But Aaron Rodgers' first 11 games as a starter, 2,599 passing yards, 2,599 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, right? Okay, follow that. 9 INTs, 91.7 pass rating. They went 6-10. Jordan Love's first 11 games as a starter, also 2,599 passing yards, identical, the exact same. 19 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 10 INTs, 87.4 pass rating, and they're 5-6. Their stats are nearly identical.
Sure. Quite.
So how did you not memorize those stats?
A lot of numbers, and I failed math 3 times. We've said it many times, and it wasn't a wax and gibbous anymore. So, I think Jordan Love is a quarterback that we gotta give flowers to. We've been saying it. I feel like, who's it? Kurt Benhart. Who's the guy? The old Packers player that's always like hyping them up on Twitter. No one knows. Okay,
no idea.
Whatever. It's like an old. It's like a long. Jack, he might even be a long snapper or some shit. So you need to know.
Oh hell yeah. Okay. No. All right. I'm all in on him now.
all year specifically, whoever he is, all year specifically, he's been saying.
Has the former long snapper been hyping up Jordan Love?
What'd you say?
The former long snapper is hyping up Jordan Love.
He could be a long snapper. Just for the sake of the argument, I think it makes more sense for him to be a long snapper.
Okay, and he hypes up Jordan Love.
Yes, he hypes up
Jordan Love.
I'm
all in on Jordan Love. He's a fucking dog, dude. Top 5 in the NFL. People don't want to talk about it yet. I'm all in.
Yeah, I just think Jordan Love is a guy that clearly the receivers hadn't been playing well all year. He's been looking a lot better over these last, I think 3 of the last 4 games. He's had 11 touchdowns or 8-to-1 touchdown INT ratio. That's what it's been.
That's quite good, Adam. That is quite good, isn't it? Quite good. And I think we got to give Jordan Love a lot of credit. I think he is someone that obviously he's not Aaron Rodgers, doesn't have the MVPs, doesn't have the Super Bowl, but in terms of the first 11 games as a starter, awfully similar.
Yeah. I think some people were too early on saying he sucks.
Well, the Packers are bad.
I'm the king of one.
The Packers they had this good game against a good Lions team, but like they this season have not looked good. Jordan Love has played well.
But we're talking about recently.
Jordan Love has played well. I said it like 3 weeks ago.
Jordan Love played bad
before he started playing awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So Jordan Love is good. We liked him. We like the prospect of him because he has
flashes.
Yeah, he's got the size, he has the athleticism, he has the ability, even more so than Aaron Rodgers in terms of just like his
athletic
physical, his physical traits. Like they're insane. And so if we can just put those together, then
physical trait.
Yeah, well, you said Aaron Rodgers is less able than most people. So
he's got one physical trait.
Naturally, Jordan Love is more able than a lot of Caucasians because of the race that he was born into. And we were just waiting on him to put it together. And like he had a good first couple games, I think. Then he really went bad. Now he's good again. And he's a young quarterback, and I think it's cool to see. I didn't know those stats, Adam. So really appreciate you shining that.
That was
light
quite astute.
Thank you for sharing.
Because now we can really put it into perspective. I think people tend to overreact, especially when a quarterback's young. Like we were overreacting to Bryce Young right now. And that's why they made a move with their coach, right? They just fired Frank Reich. So yeah, I like Love going for.
I just think, and we've talked about it a lot, like how Joe Burrow, how Justin Herbert, obviously Josh Allen took some time, but like Mahomes, how some of these other quarterbacks in the league, Lamar Jackson were able to come in and perform right away at various levels has kind of completely has changed the way we need to look at younger prospects, right? And I think Jordan Love is still considered a younger prospect that needs time to develop and actually have time as a starter. So I just think we're a little flawed with what we're expecting from young quarterbacks.
No, Lamar Jackson came in as a rookie to replace Joe Flacco, and he was ass. I don't know if y'all remember that, like that rookie year. He would throw like 6 passes a game, and he would just run all game. Like he was terrible. They lost the playoff game. That was Greg
Roman offense, right?
They lost the playoff game to the Chargers, I believe, that year to Phillip Rivers. But yeah, I agree with you. Give these young quarterbacks time to develop, man.
I want to move into some of the other games. I know Jack feels very strongly about the Broncos-Browns game. And I'm sure that you have some takeaways, some thoughts on,
well, first of all,
Broncos and or the Browns.
Yeah, I will say, first of all, boys, I was the only one that picked the Broncos. So you guys clap it up for me. I was the only one that picked the Broncos. Look at the graphic.
I picked the Broncos.
No, you did not.
Go back to the
Browns.
You picked the Browns.
Bro, let's watch the tape. It was all Browns, and I was only Broncos.
I'm pretty sure he's right.
Did I?
Yeah, bro.
You 1000%.
Yeah, you're the reason I took the Browns. You were like, the defense is so good. Like,
I picked all 15 games right too. Look at the tape. I picked them all right.
Yeah, look at
same way you picked the Broncos.
Totally not
hey,
a judge at all.
Yeah, that's a good one, Matan.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, good one. No, the Broncos are going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to sneak in. I know they've won 5 straight. They look hot right now. Started off, what was it, 1-5?
Something like that.
1-5, yeah. Now they're 6-5. They look awesome. The rest of the Broncos' schedule is pretty easy. So tell me what you think they're going to do their next 6 games end the season. All right. Next week at Texans.
They could win that.
Yeah,
they could win.
I feel like that's an L spot, but they could win it.
Yep.
Let down. Haven't brought that one back up.
Yep. There's that. The week after at the Chargers.
They could win that.
Yeah, these are all games they should win. Then they go at Detroit, toughie. It's TBD.
They could win that.
TBD.
They also could have 3 straight losses.
Right, exactly.
These are all 50-50 to me.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think the Broncos are they're better than the Chargers right now. They could beat the Lions. They could beat the Texans right now.
Yep.
Then they got the Patriots at home. Win.
They should win that.
Easy dub. Chargers at home. I feel like they'll beat them at home and Mile High. Then you go to Las Vegas the last week of the season.
They could win all these games.
They could win all 6. I think they win 4 out of 6. That means they got 10 games. I think you can go 10-7 and make the playoffs. Dave's here right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
The Broncos could easily do it.
Yeah.
Maybe not easily. Like I'm not still.
The only game that I'm
great.
Really
I'm not
about
yet sold on them being that good,
dude. But even if they go 3-3, they can go 9-8 and maybe sneak in.
Okay, but what is the ceiling of this Broncos team?
I think they're a playoff team.
Playoffs? Can they win a playoff game?
Yeah, they can win a playoff game. They can win one.
Their defense is so much improved after that. Like everyone was talking about, I feel like everyone think of the Broncos this year. They think of that 70-20 loss, which is super fair. I forget
a long time ago.
I forget the team that beat them.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
The Broncos defense right now is playing at an insanely high level. They're causing a lot of turnovers. Every quarterback they play the last 4-ish weeks or so, during this win streak, 5 weeks. I think they're legit. Russ is playing really well. I heard Chris Collinsworth said he got the scoop that Russ lost 15 pounds this offseason, a lot lighter, more mobile, doing more Russ-like things.
I like
their line's
that.
been pretty solid. They're fun to watch, low key. They're not a bad team.
Yeah, they could win every single one of those games that you mentioned. That'd be insane if they finish off the season with an 11-game win streak.
If they rip off 6 straight
that'd be fucking insane.
They'll be 12-5.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
It's possible.
They have They have 3 division games there. You're not gonna win all 3 of them division games. I don't think I could.
The Chargers, I think they'll split. They'll split with the Chargers, and then they'll beat the Raiders.
Yeah,
and then it's like, all right, what do you do at Detroit? What do you do at Houston?
Yeah. Once they get to the playoffs, I think they could win one game. Maybe they could beat another team that sneaks in. They could beat, I think, one of the AFC South teams.
Oh yeah,
they could beat one of those teams. Whoever makes it out there, they could do that. So, but after that, they're not beating. They're not competing with the Ravens. They're not competing.
With all in all, I'm curious because
beat the Chiefs early.
How many first round picks did the Broncos send just for Russell Wilson, Sean Payton? Is it 3 in total?
I think it was 3 total.
Worth it?
Total. If they only make the playoffs and don't win a playoff game, was that worth it?
It depends, because I think this year you hire Sean Payton to get back to the playoffs. I don't think you traded for Sean Payton to try and win a Super Bowl right now necessarily. I don't know, because after how bad they were last year, you can't expect that.
Yeah, I think you were trying to fix what happened last year. It's a good question, Adam. I mean,
yeah, very astute question.
I don't know.
I don't think it is. I think when you traded for Russ, naturally you thought right away he was going to come in similar to what Matthew Stafford did, and that team was going to be able to compete. They obviously were terrible with Nathaniel Hackett. Then Sean Payton comes in and takes some time to get going. They obviously look better. But if this team isn't able to, if we can't even talk about them as a true contender, then I don't think it's worth it to say that giving up 3 first-round picks, especially in today's NFL, when you see that the types of team, the Dolphins getting a Tyreek for a first or other players for a singular first, you get a quarterback and a coach for 3 first-round picks, and you can't even win a playoff game. Obviously, we're just projecting into the future. But if we can't even talk about it with confidence, I don't think it's worth it currently right now.
I don't know. I feel like they're a couple pieces away from legitimately doing that, though. With the way Russell Wilson's playing right now, he's not turning the ball over at all at a high rate. He's passing it. He's completing it at a high percentage. I don't know. I feel like they're a legit receiver, some linemen, and then like one like game-changing defender.
But I'll split that.
Like,
I'm with you though, but like they went out and signed I think they spent the most money on the offensive line out of any team this year, right? And whether it worked out,
their line's good now. Like,
but you just said get some other offensive lineman pieces. Cortland Sutton's played well, right? Sutton's looked good. They like Judy, what they have isn't bad. What they have isn't bad is my point. Right. So I don't know how you actually need to elevate the Broncos to get them to that contender category.
It's on the defensive side, I think.
I'll split that up. I think Sean Payton has shown to be worth it. Come on. I mean, you give a first-round pick to get you a coach that's going to win. Like, you go do that.
It's worth it.
Now, Russ, you're trying to make up for – like, after last year, we were sold, like, they lost that trade. It fucking blew. And he sucks and all this shit. And now he's actually –
maybe Nathaniel Hackett just sucked.
Maybe. But now he's playing better, and now it's like you're just trying to get Russ to look good enough, and I think he's doing that. The 3 first-round picks for both Russ and Sean, I think they're proving that it's kind of paying off. But I still think that if they really, really want to go win a Super Bowl, they need another quarterback. I don't think Russ is doing it.
I will say this, and I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the Broncos because obviously to start the season, they didn't look like that playoff team. And then if you just take the sample size of their last 6 games, and I think they've won, 5 of their last 6?
Well, they won 5 straight, so.
I think it's 5 of their last. They've won 5 of the last 6. So if you take just that, then naturally they're becoming a playoff team. What'd you say?
5 of the last 5 is a better percentage than 5 of the last 6.
But
they won 5 straight.
He's got a 6-game sample size, I think, though, is what he's.
I'm just taking like if you just were to look at the last 6 games after that Dolphins game, then naturally this team is looking like a playoff team and it's
right
noise. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm still stuck on the first half of the season. And that's why I can't say that they're a contender just yet. But if you just take how they've been playing lately, then yes, they can be a playoff team. So we got to see more. And I think as you talked about it with Jack with their schedule, things could change drastically with this Broncos team.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy schedule. If at the Lions is by far your hardest game, and then at Texans is the next hardest.
Yeah,
it's not that bad. Not that bad.
I want to move games here. Can we talk about? And I'm gonna take a quick pee break, but I'm gonna cue you up. I want to talk about the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Oh, I got you. I'll talk about this. Yeah,
you rip. All right.
Yeah. What you want to cue me up with?
I want to know a bunch of things. Are the Seahawks overrated as fuck?
I don't gotta say it. I've been saying it. Like
Felipe. They're overrated. They're worse than I thought they were.
The Seahawks.
I probably was the highest on the Seahawks this season.
But the Seahawks are now bad.
I'm not gonna say they're bad. Like if we're gonna say the Lions are contenders, then the Seahawks beat them, and they were both playing well. Like so, and this was a few weeks ago. So I think the Seahawks are so good. They ran into one of the best teams we've seen in recent history, bro. The Niners are fucking elite, like elite at full strength, at full health. They're a fucking Madden team, and so they're gonna lose that game.
Yeah, you think maybe in Seattle on Thanksgiving, like prime time,
thought they had a chance. I picked them.
I know, and Adam haters.
Yeah, but I don't think they're bad, but I think it's a similar situation with the Broncos. Like we don't realistically expect them to win more than one playoff game. The Seahawks might not win a playoff game, but they'll be in the playoffs and they could win one.
Bro, it's so obvious too to me. Like watching that game, I feel like DK Metcalf is one of the most overrated receivers in football right now. Like Charvarius Ward locked his ass up all fucking game long. Charvarius Ward's a good corner. He's not a great corner. All DK ever does is run a go route or run a slant. That's all that motherfucker does. That's it. He's so big and strong and physical, and he can't even win a jump ball anymore. Like, I don't know what is going on with this dude this year. At least the last half of the games that the Seahawks play this year, DK looks horrible. I feel like Tyler Lockett's by far a better receiver on the Seahawks.
Yeah, well, yeah, Lockett's always been underrated.
But like people used to bring up DK in that top 10 conversation. I don't think he's remotely close.
Sometimes
he'd
be in that bottom end of the top 10. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I haven't watched enough DK tape myself personally.
Did you see his that little mixtape that some Niners got put together with Mookie Ward locking him down?
No,
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm not. I mean, this isn't a DK episode personally.
I know, but just watching DK yourself.
So Jack, as an All-Pro Seahawks hater, how do you fix the Seahawks and turn them into Seahawks?
Well, you got to get Geno Smith the fuck out of town. Geno Smith struck lightning in a bottle last year. Is great for him. Good job. I will not say I was happy for him because I don't like the Seahawks. But if I had to take that out of it, very happy for Geno. Good job, man. You had yourself a year. You got paid. Good for you, bro. You got paid. You got your family set for life. Congratulations. but he's just not the guy. You really think Geno Smith can win a Super Bowl? You guys think Geno Smith can win a Super
in the right situation?
Yeah, but that situation ain't the Seahawks.
No.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Not realistic.
You fix the Seahawks. There's a quarterback in Chicago. You bring him in with DK and Charbonnet and Lockett and JSN.
Welcome.
Sheesh. Imagine if Justin Fields went to Seattle.
I did peep that recently.
I saw that too, and I was like, I would, as much as I would fucking hate that, because I would hate it so much because it'd be so disgusting.
Justin Fields in that Volt green jersey.
Oh, with the blacked out visor.
He would look crazy.
No, he's talking about the jerseys they were wearing this weekend that you and I didn't like.
Oh yeah, I know, but Justin Fields would look great. Yeah, he's different.
I don't think that's.
I just feel like the Seahawks do have to move on at quarterback, and I feel like trading for a guy like Justin Fields or even signing like a Kirk Cousins, they got weapons there. Their defense isn't terrible. I don't know. I just feel like they're just that little bit away at quarterback to actually really contend because Geno's not.
Geno's not going to take him over the top.
Yeah, he's not a difference maker right now. Last year he was great last year. Best deep ball throw in the league. Now he's scared to throw it down the field. I don't know what's going on. I got this from Scotty the King. He's been doing the deep dive analytics.
Of course.
As a Seahawks fan, he said Geno's not. He's too scared to throw the ball downfield now. He's only checking it down, and he's really indecisive. That's why he's throwing picks. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look very good. But yeah, it's another game. Niners beating Geno Smith 4 in a row. It's just a different team now that Russ is gone. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, congrats.
What are your thoughts, Adam?
On Seahawks fucking Niners?
Yeah.
How do you fix the Seahawks? You always have a way to fix the team. I feel like that's like your thing,
Did you talk about the Niners already?
We talked about it kind of both a little.
Yeah.
Mostly Seahawks because I feel like we knew the Niners have been that good.
I mean, my only takeaway from that game is I was a little shocked on Christian McCaffrey and Olivia Culpo's bedroom, what it looks like. I don't know if anyone saw
yeah, he's a bloody man.
I saw that. There was
is that a guest room or is that their bedroom? Because they don't have the dual he and her sink, and that for some reason doesn't feel right with how much money,
I was more thrown off by the fact that the way she kind of hyped that up, I thought he was going to be fucked up, and he looks very clean.
Yeah,
it was
very
tiny. There was a scar like this big, and then a bruise on his arm. I'm like, most guys probably get fucked up way worse than that on a regular basis.
Right. I'm sure you're right.
Bro, I've seen friends just trip outside of a bar and get way more fucked up than that.
They just made a big deal out of it because he was bleeding on the field, and and everyone was like, "Oh, he's bleeding everywhere. He's getting
bleeding."
So the Niners, flipping it. The Seahawks are what they are. They're a 1-win team in the playoffs. If that might not even.
I think they're just playoff appearance. Good job.
Sure. The Niners. We have to look at the other side too. They ran into how many teams have the Niners embarrassed this year? Good teams, bro. The Niners are fucking good. They're really good. They're one of the best teams we've seen.
Bro, the only fucking touchdown that the Seahawks had was a pick six. That's the only way they got in the end zone.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think the Niners fully healthy. They're one of the best teams we've ever seen. Since we've been alive. Fully healthy now. Brock Purdy without help is a different story.
Do you think that the Niners are the best team, despite the record? Take record, put record
no.
that the Niners are the best team in the league?
I don't know. I think the Niners are by a good margin, but obviously I'm biased as fuck.
We're about to see because this weekend's gonna be electric,
week is gonna
bro.
Be sick. I think the thing with the Niners, when you look at it, you look at the team. Everyone always talks about the Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey. You always talk about the weapons on offense. No one talks about the weapons on defense. There are all pros at every single level, and there are multiple of them. You got Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Javon Hargrave. You got Eric Armstead. Randy Gregory's our 5th D lineman.
That's insane.
Then you got Mookie Ward, who's probably an all-pro or second-team all-pro this year. He's been fucking awesome. Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner. There are dogs at every position on defense.
There are dogs, but there are also puppies because you hate your DBs. So
I do hate my DBs, but they've actually been really good the last few weeks, so we're back on them.
Back on them.
Yeah, even though Hufanga actually out for the season, may he rest in paradise. Well, he's not dead, but the defense, this Niners defense, the last 3 weeks after coming off the bye has allowed 10 points a game. 10 points a game. You combine that with our offense that's just fucking ridiculous every single week. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah,
I just don't see the Eagles haven't showed me anything this year that they can beat a team like the Niners that's more complete than them.
That's why I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. I think the Eagles have played this entire season at their floor.
Or is this just them? I don't
But if their floor is that, they're going to find a way to beat you. It's the Lions, but with a more elite quarterback and more elite weapons. And that's a scary team to go up against, especially in the playoffs if you're going to have home field advantage. I think they're the two clear-cut best teams in football, and I don't think it's remotely close. But at the same time, what the Eagles are capable of doing, what they were able to do against the Bills, who, like, let's call it what it is. Like, the Bills were really kicking their ass in the first half. Like, I thought the Bills were going to walk away with that win. And then the second half, they come out and find a way to win. And that's, I think, what makes the Eagles so great and what makes them the best team in football is they will find ways to win, and they're doing it while playing at their floor, and they haven't knocked you out yet. So
no, I get that, but at some point we played 11 games and they haven't had one dominant win all year.
They've only lost one game.
That's what I'm saying.
And they beat good teams.
They beat good teams. They're 10-1.
But they're not beating down on teams.
But they're not like the Niners are beating the shit out of the Cowboys, beating the shit out of the Jaguars, beating the fuck out of the Seahawks. Like, we're beating good teams and we're beating the shit out of them right now. So it's
but like 5 weeks from now, when you get to the playoffs, no one's looking at how you beat them or the way you.
No, that doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, like, we're trying to compare who's the better team between the Niners and Eagles. I know the records are different. I know that. I'm not stupid. But I think if you look at method of victory and the ways that the Niners end up winning games, it's insane. Like, they're just beating the crap out of teams. The one weakness we have is we can't come back from behind. I know that.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Well, to that point though, I think last week we were talking about how you got to look at method of victory and how the Lions were a formidable team because they could win in they could win playing. They could score a lot. They could beat you. They could come back now and beat you. Stuff like that. Now Philly has shown that. Like, Philly playing from behind this game. They, like you said, Adam, they were getting smoked in the first half. The Bills were outplaying them by a lot. Josh Allen looked great. And then the Eagles came back and they were able to go win that game. Like, that was so impressive, not just by the Eagles as a whole, but Jalen Hurts played very well as well. He was making throws that he had to make and just playing well overall. So I think the Eagles now, they've shown that, like, what we crowned the Lions with last week, or what we said made them a strong team, is what is making the Eagles one of the best teams in the league. I think the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, there's something to be said about just being 10-1 and you haven't even looked good yet.
And look, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Bills, they beat the Cowboys, they beat good teams, bro. They beat really good teams. So
no,
the Niners have to.
I'm not trying to discredit them. I'm just saying there is an argument to be made.
Well, let's talk about that Bills-Eagles game. After the Eagles just beat the Bills this week, I think, like, there's lots of conversations about, like, where Jalen Hurts ranks among quarterbers.
Top 5.
Yeah. No,
where do you think Jalen Hurts ranks? Where do you think Jalen Hurts ranks amongst NFL quarterbacks right now after beating the Bills like that?
It changed for me the most, and it's not fair because Joe Burrow is no longer healthy, and he had a bad year to start the season, obviously because of the calf injury. But I think it is official that as of right now, the top 3 quarterbacks in the league are Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts. Now, whether you want to put Jalen at
Joe
2
Burrow's hurt,
or Josh at 2, obviously Joe Burrow's hurt. But for the time that they were playing, and we can't really say, oh, well, he was injured, so he wasn't playing well. Like, he was still playing. Jalen has been dominant. And granted, more on the ground than as a passer, and yet still his stats look like an MVP type quarterback.
I was
Jalen Hurts
like,
27-2 in the last 29 games. 27-2. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay. And I get it. His situation, the circumstances are better. The offensive line, he's got everything. But that's why we got to give credit to Brock Purdy. I'm going to give credit to Jalen Hurts. For me personally, Jalen Hurts is the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. I still put Josh Allen there at 2. But Jalen has played his way, for me, in that top 3, no question.
He's top 5. He's like, Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, had a good year last year, and then we said that was enough to put Joe Burrow in even the top 2 conversation. Jalen Hurts has done that exact same thing. He's on pace to outplay Joe Burrow like this year within what Joe Burrow did last year, right? I mean, Joe Burrow wasn't an MVP candidate last year. Jalen Hurts is this year. And so by those standards, Jalen Hurts should be in the conversation. Now, he's being outplayed by Dak Prescott. So is Josh Allen, though. So that's okay.
Absolutely. You're right.
Yeah.
I hate that.
But I think he's in that conversation. The Eagles are fucking dangerous because they're so loaded all around, bro. They're so loaded all around.
They're
and
insane
if you want to make the comparison with the Niners, I understand the Niners have beat good teams down, like, by a lot, and the Eagles haven't necessarily done that, even though they've won every game that they were supposed to win. But injuries happen. The Eagles didn't have Lane Johnson yesterday. They had injuries, and they beat down, and they still beat down the Bills, right? They didn't kill them, they beat them. The Niners, when they had injuries, we've seen them be worse. So I'll stick with my take that I've had all season, especially the past few weeks. The Niners at full strength are the best team in the league. But because you can't count on any team being full strength ever, I'm going to go with the Eagles being better than the Niners.
That's a good point.
I will say though, like I'll give Jalen Hurts all the praise in the world. He's been great this year, last year, everything like that. I think it's not because of his passing ability though. On the ground, he is dynamic. He's electric as hell. But if you look at his,
but he's clutch as fuck.
He's clutch as fuck too.
Like,
That's
I don't know if there are many other quarterbacks you would rather have in the league.
One of the main
down and win your game at the
probably
end of the game.
3. Like I don't know.
I feel like one of the main factors people like to talk about outside of Joe Burrow being able to make it to the Super Bowl is how clutch he is. And obviously, Felipe and I have brought up many stats to refute that. But naturally, Jalen Hurts in the fourth, like this dude has the clutch factor. It feels like no matter what, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it done. So I think Jalen.
I'm just saying his passing stats are like pretty average at best, but it's because of his dynamic ability on the ground that makes him an MVP.
Right. Which I think then you don't even have to talk about the passing stats because the rushing stats are there.
Yeah, it's
electric.
Yeah, it makes it harder to put a guy like that, like in the top tier of quarterbacks, because you want to see guys that can fucking throw for 370 on 80% completion, just like throwing dots left and right down the field. But you just watch Jalen Hurts, he's a dog.
Where do you guys put Jalen Hurts then? I know, Lipe, you said top 5. But
I think he's solidified top 5. Like I don't think there's a question, and it's the way he's won this 100%. Game, and he's done it with injuries. The comparison, I didn't even bring it up, but I mean, obviously the Niners with an injury, they lost 3 straight with a big injury to their big offensive lineman Trent Williams. They lost 3 straight. And Brock Purdy played way worse. The fact that Jalen Hurts was able to really keep up his level of play, not only that, but outperform Josh Allen towards the end of the game with an injury, I think that puts him in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah. I think if I had to go my top 5 quarterbacks right now, obviously it's Patrick Mahomes 1, but then 2 through 5 is super arbitrary. It's like you can do however you want it. I'd probably go Jalen Hurts 2. Fucking God, this is hard. Joe Burrow 3, Josh Allen 4, then Dak 5 or Brock 5, like whatever.
Dak, Lamar, Brock, Tua.
Yeah, like whoever you want to throw in there. Like probably right now it's Dak, but like I think Josh Allen's 4. I think at the very least Jalen Hurts is 2nd or 3rd. I think he's top 3 solidified.
I'm gonna go.
However you want to put it. I think Josh Allen's 4. I'm not. I've never been as high on him as you guys, but
yeah, I'm gonna go Mahomes. I'm gonna go where I was week 2. I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. And then I'm still going to go, for me, Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow are very close. Lamar, more wins. I'm going to go Lamar, and I'll go Burrow 6.
What about Brocky?
Brock, I've seen him with injuries, and it's just Brock's in the top 10 for me. But by himself.
Hey.
I do want to bring it. You put Dak number 2.
Best QB on football.
You put Dak number 2 there. I do want to bring it to the Cowboys, actually.
Hell yeah.
Do you think Dak Prescott should be the leading MVP odds guy right now?
Come on.
So Dak Prescott right now is 3rd in MVP after this electric performance against the Washington Commanders, right? His last 5 games, he has 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Like that clip, 9-1.
Why aren't we talking about that more?
Insane. Well, I think naturally, here's the argument against Dak Prescott, and I'm going to even start off with this, is that, again, he hasn't beat a great team, but he's only played 2 great teams. And he outplayed Jalen Hurts when he played the Eagles. He played a great game against Jalen Hurts when he played the Eagles. Against the Niners, that was a different story. Again, injuries, right? All across the field. And he was dealing with that early. They lost to the Cardinals. Injuries all over the place. So this team healthy, it really comes down to how is Mike McCarthy orchestrating this offense? How is he putting Dak in a position to succeed? And you can clearly see, and Dak said it himself, this is the most comfortable he's ever been in an offense, and he looks like it. 5 touchdowns against Washington. You're seeing him just throw. He's averaging. I have the stats here. Let me bring it up. Actually,
bring it up.
Because
I also got some stats if you need. If we want to talk MVPs, I got the 5 leading MVP candidates right next to me, literally in my room right now, and I have all their stats on them.
All right, cool. So, all right, I'll let you do that in a second. So, Dak, over the last 5 games, 18 touchdowns, 2 INTs. Like I said, he's averaging 312 yards per game, right? He's 2nd in QBR right now, 2nd in passer rating right now to Brock Purdy.
Thank you.
Again,
both
Niners, yeah. Dude, it's 0.2 off from Purdy. So he's been climbing up because Dak was always around.
No one's giving
9
either
or
our
8.
boys respect they deserve right now, though. By the way,
That's fair. And so every stat you look at, touchdowns, Josh Allen just passed him yesterday, but he's 2nd. He's behind 1. He has 22 on a year or something like that. Allen has 23, I think. And so every stat, he's top 5 passing yards. He's 6. Pretty much, he's right there. And God, the way they're just beating down, like you say, they're supposed to beat bad teams. You're not supposed to destroy bad teams.
You're destroying every bad
you literally,
team.
the Cowboys, I think it's like 300 to 80 at home. At home this year. It's like something insane.
It's like, you know, there's like any given Sunday. Not for the Cowboys. Any given Sunday is not a thing when they play a team below 500. They're going to beat the living crap out of them.
And not to mention, we're going to see it now too. Where I'll say Dak right now is my MVP. And I think Jalen Hurts is the MVP right now. But why I think I'll put Dak at MVP right now is because he can't escape the schedule that we have in front of him. He's going to be able to make his MVP case or not make his MVP case because he has to face the Eagles again. He's got to face the Lions. He's got to face the Dolphins. He's got to face the Bills. Did I say that already? The Bills?
Damn, that's a gauntlet.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got some tough games going forward, and so the good teams are all right now, and you have a chance to go destroy them. And are you that good at home? You've been killing at home. Are you that good at home? You're going to face the Eagles at home. Let's go see. Right? You're going to face some good teams. And then lastly, before Adam, I'll let you get to your stats. There's always been conversation, and Adam was a big proponent of this. Oh, Kellen Moore's leaving. Dallas offense is going to be in shambles. All this. I said Kellen Moore was ass holding back Dak Prescott. Dak now, as he's been the quarterback of the Cowboys. Scott Linehan has called plays. Jason Garrett has called plays. Mike McCarthy obviously has called plays. There's one Kellen Moore, right? Yeah, I was just talking about. Kellen Moore has called plays. Scott Linehan's not in the league anymore. He's actually at Mizzou.
Is he?
Yeah.
What does he do?
He's like offensive coordinator there right now. Jason Garrett's not in the league. We know how ass he is. Kellen Moore made the Chargers. The Chargers went from a top 10 offense last year. They're outside the top 10 this year. Okay. And Mike McCarthy got fired from Green Bay. Dak Prescott has led the Cowboys to a top 5 offense with all of those guys. And so what's the one consistent? Dak Prescott. The Cowboys have had a top 5 offense with all of those offensive coordinators. And the one consistent has been Dak Prescott. And
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. You forget Jerry.
Dolly Parton's been around too.
So let's give Dak his flowers. The one thing against them is obviously great teams. He's going to be able to prove that in the coming future. If that even makes sense.
I'm gonna go rip a little. I'm gonna rip a little Dak MVP bet right after this, dude. Honestly,
you should.
That's nice.
Give us the stat, the odds leaders, Adam.
Oh, I don't have the odds leaders. I thought Felipe had that, but I just think
he's plus 800.
He's what, plus 800?
Yeah.
To me, that's probably my favorite bet to win the MVP. Dak Prescott is like, if you just look at the 5 leading MVP candidates, Lamar, Dak, Tua, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts, the only thing that's really against what Dak's completion percentage is the best. He has the most passing touchdowns. He has the best passer rating. If you look at just passing yards, Tua's leading in that. But outside of that, he's second most. Like, he's ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Lamar, the only thing he has is rushing yards. Like, he's leading in INTs. My favorite thing, or the least INTs, Dak has 6 INTs this year. Like, that's always been someone's knock against Dak is, he throws INTs, yada, yada, yada.
Not always. Last year.
Okay, he has 6 INTs, right? Yeah. Like, he's not turning the ball over to what he once was. Jalen Hurts has more. Patrick Mahomes has more. Tua has more. Like, you look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the MVP favorite. Right now, he has more rushing touchdowns and more rushing attempts. Outside of that, there's nothing else. Dak right now deserves to be the MVP favorite. And I agree with you in everything that you've said, because going forward, the schedule is going to set him up to either win the MVP or lose the MVP. But I even might say that, like, even if he were to have good games, I don't even know if people would vote for him for MVP. There is just this natural hate for Dak Prescott and what he's able to do. Similar to what you just said with all these offensive coordinators, all these coaches, people calling plays. Like, Dak is the one common denominator out of all of it. And I think
if Dak was doing this on any team besides the Cowboys, he'd be the MVP favorite. Like, that's just a fact.
I disagree with that. I think the Eagles are 9-1. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Shout out Adam. The Eagles are 9-1. Like, they're winning games, and you have to 10-1. 10-1. You have to win games. Like, it matters. You're not going to have the craziest stats ever and be 500 and win MVP. Not that Dak. I mean, obviously 8-3 is good, but the Eagles are 9-1. So I do think Jalen Hurts is MVP right now, but we're going to be able to see whether Dak deserves MVP over the rest of this season.
I agree with that. And I don't again, I'm not saying Dak is the clear-cut MVP, but I do think, like, if Lamar Jackson has better odds for him than Dak Prescott for MVP, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, the only reason that he would be the MVP right now is because A, rushing touchdowns, and B, the record, which I think makes sense. But Dak's not a rushing quarterback. Jalen Hurts has I don't know the stat, but out of the 11 rushing touchdowns that Jalen Hurts has,
1 yard runs,
75% at least might be tush pushes.
It's not that.
I think like all but one or two.
Yeah.
I think Jalen is great. For me, I want it to be. I really want to clarify that like Dak deserves that love and MVP love, and he's not going to get it. And I agree with you, Felipe. I agree with everything you said.
Well, he'll have the chance to get it.
You will.
Yeah, I don't think he's being slept on. Like realistically, like I think he's criminally underrated, always has been. But now that he's third in odds, he's behind Jalen Hurts, he's 9-1. Lamar Jackson, I gave probably be ahead, but Lamar never got embarrassed on primetime football against the 49ers. And so I think Dak is right where he should be, and he's going to have the opportunity. If that game had never happened, Dak would be second right now. He'd be second. He still wouldn't be first.
Out of all the 5 MVP candidates, Lamar's the only one that's played more games, right? Because now they're about to be on their bye. He has the least amount of INTs and the most rushing yards. Outside of that, he doesn't lead in any other category, right? Out of the MVPs. And he's played one more game. So that's where the rushing yards come from. I get the INTs. He's thrown less, but we got to give Dak those flowers.
Well, let's talk about Lamar. This is the last game I want to talk about here before we wrap up. Let's talk about that Ravens-Chargers game. Any takeaways from the Ravens-Chargers?
No.
Brandon Staley?
Chargers. The Brandon Staley been gone, bro. You got to get rid of that, dude.
It's so goddamn frustrating just seeing Brandon Staley still have a job. How does he have a job?
It doesn't make sense.
Well, you can always go back to Costco. It'd be good there, but it's just NFL's not for him.
I'm with you. I think Brandon Staley deserves to be fired. But Brandon Staley's defense held them to the Ravens 13 points up until a minute left in the game. And what did that offense do? Now, it could be Kellen Moore, it could be something, but it was the first game where Brandon Staley looked like a defense that deserved to be on the field, right? Like,
yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, at what are we going to is it going to all be Brandon Staley? Like, who else's fault? Like, I don't know what to make of the Chargers. I genuinely don't, because it was always Brandon Staley, but on prime time, that defense looked pretty damn good. Didn't look bad. Held them to 13 points, and yet the offense couldn't get going. So
yeah, I mean, the Ravens offense also looked a lot different without Mark Andrews too. So I think that's also a factor.
Sure.
But
I don't think it's a big enough factor to be like 13.
Zay Flowers is my fucking guy, bro.
The Chargers need a clean house, bro. It's not just Staley. I've been talking about how ass Kellen Moore is because I saw what he did. I saw what he did last year. Like the success that Dallas ever had was not because it was in spite of Kellen Moore, not because of him. And now he's in LA. Like I said, the Chargers offense was a top 10 offense last year. I think there were 7 or 8. Now they're outside the top 10 with Kellen Moore, with weapons. They drafted a receiver in the first round. Like they're bad. Not only do they can't scout either because Quentin Johnson's not good.
Above Zay Flowers too. Like,
above Zay, like other guys, like. But they need a clean house because I agree with you. The defense actually looked good yesterday. I mean, you hold the Ravens to 13, garbage time touchdown. We're not going to count that. They held the Ravens to 13. You should win that game. Even 20. You should win that game with the type of firepower you have offensively. So Kellen Moore's calling plays on offense. Clearly, he's holding back Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert is actually, if you look at his stats too, we were talking about some of the MVP candidates right now. Herbert's not because they're 4-7, and he's naturally not going to be there. But his stats are among the best in every single category as well. And so I just think they're being held back on every level. It's embarrassing.
When you think of the worst teams in the AFC, who are some of those teams you think of?
Patriots.
Oh, God.
Easily they're the worst.
That's like the first I think of.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah,
Jets.
The Jets. AFC South.
Titans.
I mean, Colts kind of I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, like the West. Raiders suck.
Raiders.
Yeah, the Chargers are like bottom 7 in record this year. And obviously win-loss, there's like you said, there's a lot of things being, holding them back, but they have completely.
How many teams in the NFL have worse record than the Chargers? I don't think there's many.
4. Well, I guess 4 because they haven't. I don't think the Chargers have had their bye yet. So the Giants and Commanders have one more game up on them. They played 12. So
wait, what are the teams that have less wins than the Chargers this year? There's only a few, right?
Less wins would be the Cardinals, the Bears, the Panthers, and the Patriots. That's it.
Bro, that's sad.
It's sad.
The Giants have 4?
Giants have 4, bro.
Oh, my
2 in a row,
God.
back-to-back Tommy DeVito.
Hey, only one picked the Giants this week. What's up?
Let's go.
That's actually
I'm never going to bet on them again.
Bro, if you're the Chargers and you have that talent and everything, and there are only 4 teams in the NFL that have less wins than you, that's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Like, I don't even know what you got to fire Staley. You got to fire Moore. You got to get something.
They just need a clean house.
You got Herbert locked up for a while.
And that's
So
fine.
figure it
Herbert's
out.
good. Like, bro, you just got to figure it out, man.
Dude, trade
And I think with the Chargers, like if that coaching vacancy opens up, the amount of people that are going to flock to that job because of you already have the quarterback.
Yeah, I actually heard rumors that Mike McDaniel would take that job immediately, from what I heard.
Yeah,
my sources.
Sure.
So that'd be
No,
interesting.
you're right. Who doesn't want to play with Justin Herbert, especially an offensive mind? Imagine like Bieniemy with Herbert, like
Oh my god,
Daboll with Herbert. Like, come on, man.
bro. Bieniemy's got Sam Howell leading the league in passing yards.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is that there's a chance that 2 teams in the NFL this year have coaching vacancies, and it's 2 teams that a head coach would flock to in the Bills and the Chargers, 2 with elite quarterbacks, right? And I don't think we've ever seen that. I really don't think we've ever seen where like you already have 2 elite quarterbacks, you already know what they have. I want to go coach for them. It's going to be an interesting offseason if you have those 2 vacancies. So
yeah, dude, no cap.
No cap. Oh God, caps off. All right, well, that's all the topics we got for today. All the games.
You be back tomorrow, Adam?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Happy, man. Happy week 13 now. We're in week 13.
Dude, lucky number 13, Brock
Purdy. Almost at the end. Yo, thank you for listening to the Caps Off podcast. Always a pleasure.
Always
to speak into your ears.
Dude, let's get ready for Eagles week. Eagles hate week. Come on, boys.
Eagles 49ers.
Big fucking week.
Is that Sunday Night Football?
No,
oh, it's 125.
That's a what?
They got to flex it. I don't know when flex games start, but they need to do that.
That makes no sense, dog.
That's the game of the year. That's a flexed it by last week, which I don't think you need like at least 2 days, 12 days.
Fucking dumb. Why
that's
would they
the game of the year,
bro. Why would they not flex that?
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the Caps Off podcast. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.